AV Life is brought to you by our wonderful sponsors, Audinate, Crestron, Panasonic, and Sennheiser. Thank you so much for your support.
Greetings from opening day in Kansas City. This is Renee Benson at AV Renee KC. You are listening to and watching the AV Life.
Hey, this is Nancy Blanchard from Williams AV, and I'm not quite sure if I'm coming from a sunny place, a rainy place, a hail place, a snowy place here in Northern California, but you're listening to and watching the AV Life.
James King here, writer for Hire at Digital Magazine, IT and AV column, HETMA board member. Google me, you'll find me, and you are watching and listening to the AV Life.
Hey, this is Joe Way. I'm here. I'm a crew member. Oh my God, I'm a crew member again. I do stuff. I'm with HETMA, I'm with Hired AV, I'm with USC. Really, I'm just a James King fanboy now with how popular he's gotten.
Yeah, and I'm your host, Tim Van Wert, HETMA, Higher Ed AV, Rutgers University, NJIT alum, if we're going to go down that road too. Also part of the James King fan club. Also, James, you need to add keynote speaker to your list now too. You could put that down there.
I guess I got to. Yeah.
Yes, you do. And you are watching and listening to the AV Life. All right. Well, welcome. As Renee hinted at, it is opening day of baseball as we are recording here on the AV Life. Yankees had a big win today against the San Francisco Giants. Aaron Judge started off with a home run at his first at bat. So this is going to be a fun year for baseball, I think. You know what? Either way, whatever happens with my Yankees, I'll be happy because it's baseball. So. As you are hearing this, we are now in April. So welcome to that. How did we get here? How did we get to April already? This is a little crazy.
Well, technically it's not. Technically it's March 30th.
Yes, I know, but by the time the folks are listening to this, so I'm trying to speak into the future.
I'm just saying. You know, it has been kind of a year. It's been one of those weird years to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't figure out if it wants to go fast or it wants to go slow. It's just a lot of just junk stuff.
I think because you've got more events, you've got people traveling, that's why it seems like time is just flying by.
Seems like there's more events than there was in the past.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know that there's a lot of, the annual events that keep happening, but there's a lot more of the regional events that seem to be popping up. And so it just feels like there's an event and then there's an event and then there's an event. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because look, NAB's around the corner. Joe, are you going to NAB?
I will be at NAB, of course. Yeah. Are you going to be there?
No, unfortunately, we won't. We won't be. Last year was our first year, but this year we don't have a video product. So no, we won't be.
Anybody else? Renee, you going to be at NAB?
Well, we will be there. Sony will be there.
Sony.
It's a big show
Sony
for
will be
Sony,
there?
obviously, on the broadcast side for sure. But obviously, we have plenty of people covering that side of the world and that side of the business. So, nope, I'm my little bubble in the Midwest.
It's in my backyard, so I might swing by, but nothing's officially planned. As Joe would say, I actually have work to do.
Well, attending things and seeing product is work.
Totally work.
Yeah. It's worth a few hours of job time, quote unquote.
Well, like I said, you got to see what's going on.
Yeah, and it's not in my my travel spectrum to head out that way. So I will be sitting here on the East Coast watching all the tweets and everything happen, because right now it seems like everyone's over at ISC West. So that's the big one right now.
Which is in my backyard and didn't even get a chance to see anyone.
Aw.
I've got invited by a couple people, but today I was sick and tomorrow I gotta go campus and deal with stuff.
Hmm.
So I'm unfamiliar with that show. What is its theme, its focus?
Security.
security.
Security. So
Okay.
like Atlas IED is there for their announcement systems and things like that. So, you know, it's but yeah, I was
Okay.
talking with our newly inducted Hall of Fame member Gina Sansevero via text message the other day, and she was telling me about it. So
Actually, Control Concept is there too.
it's
Okay,
kind of like one, I feel like that's one of those like AV adjacent shows that it
I-
just kind of it fits.
I think you give it, it's gonna take a little longer, but I have a feeling it's gonna become one of those shows where kind of like MAB, where you say, "Oh, I shouldn't be there," but when you go, you're like, "I should be here."
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Because I was like
Um,
that NAB last year. I only went last year because Joe invited me for a recording on the Higher Ed podcast. I looked around when I was there. I'm like, crap, I should be walking this floor. I mean, you had Microsoft there. They were probably the biggest company there at NAB last year.
Yep. Well, that's the whole thing, is it's changed over the last couple of years. Like, because I used to go a lot when I was in the live entertainment side, but then I never really had to go when I moved to commercial, in higher ed. And then all of a sudden I go back for the first time, and I was like, this changed. I used to think I don't need broadcast anymore, but then the world changed. There's UC technologies there. There's, all of that stuff that just, cameras, smart cameras, things, AI cameras, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that we could all actually, use now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I'm a firm
Yeah.
believer of that, and I've even presented to my company that we got to start looking at other shows because your competitors aren't there either. Like last year when we showed Annotation Pro, what got the most interest was our AI captioning and translation. And there was a woman that came by and said, I'm so happy you're showing this because I've been trying forever to get Hollywood to understand that there has to be captioning. There has to be other accommodations. And I actually found a UK company that does that as well, for us to be able to partner up together. So we have to go beyond the Infocoms and the ISCs and start saying, you know what, our products, our solutions can fit into these other verticals. And that's where Microsoft and Logitech, they never had been at any of the AV shows. And then once they started doing that, because they were partnering up with the Avicors and our other manufacturers. That's how you're going
Right.
to
I think
your audience.
right. And I think also what we're experiencing is that convergence that we've been speaking about. Now that AV is becoming IT, we've now kind of fit with all these other conferences. The fit is more there now than it was before. So that convergence is allowing that to happen. So I think that's also what we're seeing here as well. Just lending more fuel to the fire that AV is IT. So
I was gonna say, what's your opinion, James?
No opinion.
no
But
opinion.
Right.
like what's different is it's internally with manufacturing trying to change the mindset of marketing who holds the budget. And
Mm,
those people aren't out at the shows like we are.
Mhm.
They're not out talking to the people. So for them, it's all dollar signs and, well, I don't know. I don't think that that's where we're going to have, our most ROI and all that.
well, it's until your competitors start showing up to these things, and then it's more like, okay, we're playing from behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a
So
game.
that it's a hard transition, but it kind of reminds me of saying I use when I'm coaching soccer or trying new things is today they laugh at you, tomorrow they're going to ask for your advice. So
Mhm.
yeah, you're right. Like marketing might be like, Why are we going to ISC West? It's a security company. We don't do security. But then you get in there, your competitors are going to come and asking for advice of why you're there and how it's helping your market. So sometimes you gotta be the first one out the door and
Mhm.
try new things.
Mhm.
Right, exactly. And speaking of shows, and I'm just getting excited for Infocom since that seems to be the my next big show. So and I can't even think, honestly, like between now and then, the amount of things that need to happen personally and also professionally is just like blowing my
Yeah.
mind that I need to get done in literally essentially 2.5 more months. And so having said that, we do so yeah, we all know about HETMA, and HETMA's involvement is becoming very, very large, and Joe is shrinking off the screen.
I haven't heard
Joe,
of
you're
this.
sinking. Are you on your boat? Is your boat sinking? I'm concerned.
Oh, no, not
I'm
again.
switching to
Is it another
stand
buoy?
mode on the sit stand. How do you like my
Oh.
Oh, good
background?
for you.
See, I did an opening day background.
See, that's cool. I like that
Yeah.
logo.
You want to know
It's
some fun?
okay.
You want to know what's fun about this?
What's that?
I asked AI to create it for me. I said, give me a Los Angeles Angels baseball picture. And this is what it created for me.
That's really cool. That is pretty cool.
It actually created a lot of really cool ones. It gives you all kinds of different things, but I like this
Wow.
one.
All right. Well, we'll have to we'll circle back to that in just a quick second. We have breaking news announcement here on the AV Life in regards to HETMA and Infocom, and so I am very pleased to announce that in partnership with HETMA and Sharp NEC Display Solutions, that the AV Life will be hosting a happy hour on Wednesday, June 14th from 3 to 5 p.m. at booth 4489, which is the HETMA booth. So keep that in mind for all the things HETMA related, because we will be there and we will be loud and proud and annoying and whatever we need to do, and we will be fun like we are in HETMA.
And a HETMA green drink. A HETMA green drink.
The HETMA green drink will be there. So stop by. There might be a special item if you show up and get there on time, so don't be late. There will be drinks though, so make sure you swing by and wrap up your first day at Infocom and come and spend it with us. The AV Life, HETMA, and Sharp NEC Display Solutions. And thank you to them for sponsoring, and HETMA for giving us the space to help to do this. So we look forward to kicking off Infocom with you all. So make sure you swing by, say hi. There may be some AV Life swag. I got to work on that in the meanwhile too. So you'll I know I kind of promised that last year and it didn't happen, but we'll make sure it happens this year. So put that on your calendar right now, and then there might be other happy hours happening, not with the AV Life, but with HETMA and with other organizations. So
on Thursday.
Oh, on Thursday. Okay. I didn't want to break it if it wasn't ready to be broken. So
Yeah,
that's
no, it's ready to be broken. So it's just there's another one on Thursday.
Joe is
And then
all
come back
about
and join-
big announcements.
Joe is all about the announcements.
Not a surprise.
And we are all about, breaking news on the AV Live.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so look for more information. We'll make sure we will remind you as we get closer, but 3 to 5 p.m. Wednesday, June 14th, 4489. That is and look for the bright green, our HETMA green. So look for that. You know what you're looking for. Come and find us, and find us as the AV Life, and we'll
Be there or
we'll
be
chit
square.
chat. Yeah, I expect.
I thought it's only the square people who show up. Be there and see the rest of the people who are square.
All right. So yeah. So as Joe was kind of alluding to a little bit, the onset of AI has really, I think the pedal has hit the metal, as it were. We kind of went with, hey, this is kind of a cool little thing. We had talked about this early, like later last year. We've had other episodes in regard to it. I think we actually did a lightning rounds article about it. But now it's hit this breakneck speed, for lack of a better. I think we're kind of in that danger zone, Top Gun level, kind of speed. And the use of AI has gone beyond research and development and teaching robots to do things. We're at the point now where it's going into multiple verticals and into like even like we joked about it that it was getting involved in art, but it's in art now. Like it's now it's a thing. Like Joe was saying with his wallpaper background. There, he literally asked it while we were sitting here getting started, and that's what came up, brought up with multiple options. What do we think? We're pluses, minuses. I am open. I'm almost leaving this as a lightning round open thing. Like, but take a side. Let's hear it.
All pluses, no minuses. Allow it to come in, work it, use it as a tool. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
so
I think it's like
basically,
go ahead, Joe.
No, I was gonna say AI has the potential to bring about significant benefits as well as challenges in various domains. Here are some advantages and concerns associated with AI. Automation. AI can automate repetitive tasks, resulting in increased efficiency and productivity.
Time out, Joe.
Did you
just ask AI how it is a plus and a minus to itself?
Yes, I'd also have the concerns. Would you like the concerns? Job displacement, bias and fairness, privacy and surveillance, security, ethical and moral considerations. But the advantages are automation, decision-making, personalization, innovation, and accessibility, according to AI. So there you go.
According to itself, yes. Well, I will say I will give it. I will give it a plus towards the fact that it actually looked inside its digital self and saw that it had downsides. It's like it takes a true intelligence to do that. So
its concluding paragraph is: the use of AI should be carefully managed to maximize its benefits while minimizing potential risks. This involves ongoing collaboration between AI developers, users, regulators, and other stakeholders to establish guidelines and best practices for responsible AI development and deployment.
Right. And it's just like, and you put it best, Joe, it's a tool. It's a tool, and a tool in the hands of the right person could do wonderful things. If the tool in the hands of somebody who's not a good person, that's when things go awry. And it's like, so I will say some of the interesting things that I've seen. Actually, hang on. Before I do that, Renee, you were about to say something before.
Well,
I
was just going to say, yeah, I was just going to say, I think it's like any technology we've all experienced along our entire journey. Like at one point you're like, oh, wait, no, that's new. I was talking about this with one of my customers, and I said, remember when we all went from writing checks to pay your bills to doing online bill pay? And we had friends and family members that were like, I'm never going to not write a check to pay a bill. Well, look at them today, right? Like you have to adapt to what you thought was so scary that you were so comfortable with. And AI is already in use. Like we may not know the AI that we're already using every day, right? Like there's AI all around us, just maybe you don't think about it. But I think it's one of those things where whether you like it or not, it's coming. You have got to embrace it, learn how to use it, and learn how to incorporate it to make what you do better, right? You're right, because you could go down a wrong path, but it's here, it's happening. So let's embrace how to make it work for the benefit of what we're trying to accomplish. That's all I was going to say. Scary. Everybody's scared of change.
Yeah.
And it feels a little robotic sometimes, like, oh gosh, you're coming after my job. Well, somebody still has to make AI work, right? Like there's still a human writing to the AI, or I don't know how to term it, but anyway.
Well, that's what also
get on board.
Joe That's what AI said to us, is that it's a partnership. Like, the only way we do better with this is if we do provide the feedback, just like we do with any team member. It's just another team member with the full access of the internet behind it. I mean,
Well,
we'd have that too. We have that too, but we can't scan the whole thing at once,
yeah, I finally found the post that tweet I did yesterday from somebody where they said Goldman Sachs predicts that 25% of jobs in the US and Europe could be automated by generative AI systems like ChatGPT. And some of the ones that they listed were like lawyers, translators, accountants, financial analysts, administrative staff, software developers. There's a big one, especially here in Silicon Valley, software developers.
Mhm.
Yeah,
mean-
well, here's the thing. Why could I not just tell, because there is a coding part of ChatGPT where you can go, why could I not just go and say, I need a Crestron program written that has 2 inputs, say, and 1 output, and here's the model of the projector, and here's the input thing model, or serial number, MAC address, whatever, and please output the JSON file. Done. Right? I mean, why not? Why can't I do that? Especially think of it this way. Like, even at USC, we are Crestron house, but we don't use BT Pro and all that. We program in C#. In theory, I could ask it right now to write the program for us.
Yeah.
And why not? Why not? Now
Yeah.
it frees up that opportunity. It frees up my programmers to work on other stuff.
Mhm. Or even if it's not the final program, at least it could be a stepping stone to start. Like, if it's not perfect, then yes, bring in the program to tweak it. But then you don't have to go through those painstaking first steps of, like, this doesn't quite work right, but you have that base code ready to go. So
Well, Joe, that point, adding on to it, is that Sam Scott from Chroma Systems, he's a principal consultant in BC. He
Mhm.
actually did a little video that everybody really enjoyed and said, this is great. He used ChatGPT to be able to say, here's my list, my bomb. Can you list out alternatives? And can you also enhance what those products are? And you watched it being filled in. And it was like, do you know how much time that would save consultants and integrators, designers, and things? So that's where I see a positive.
Mhm.
James, what about you? Where do you stand with this whole AI situation?
So first is give Mike Peterson a little credit, and we're not in AI yet. We're getting there, but we're not in AI yet. Some AI, it's different. To me, it's just very, very, very good programming. That's
Mhm.
all it is. It's the AI, or what we're calling AI, is just like you said, it's searching the internet and compiling stuff that's already out there and just faster at processing than us. That's not AI. That's computer programming saying these things this is a human who says, all right, you are to put these things together and build this off of that. Or like Joe said, he gave it parameters. I wanted a angel background, baseball. There you go. And it took that parameter, it knew connections to other things and built the background. So it really boils down to it's computer programming right now. Could I develop AI? No, I'm not that kind of programmer. But really we're kind of using terminology fast and free, I want to say.
Mhm.
But with that said, yes, Renee, I think brings up a good point is we have technology all around us. I don't know how many times people are like, I don't want, I mean, I hear this all the time. Oh, like talking about voice control in the classrooms and stuff. Well, I don't want something listening. Oh, let me take out my iPhone. So you already have a device that's listening. Like it's already doing that. You just don't aware of it. I kind of chop it up with the whole public encryption. We have public encryption now. We find this, we actually get shocked and horrified when there is not public encryption on our communications and infrastructure. But for the years, people fought it. The government, if you try to do anything with public encryption, either put a cease and desist order or pulled you into the basement of some kind of government building, never to be seen again. Like you weren't allowed to do public encryption, but now we expect it. We get upset when it's not there. So I think AI is kind of that route right now. Everyone's like, oh, gloom and doom, and then 5, 6, 7 years, people will be like, why is AI not in here?
Well, here you go. I just asked it to kill grandma. This is what I got.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Grandma. Like, see, it actually has a conscience. Look at that. It's trying to, and the other options, she's all sad and mopey and, you know, so there you go. See,
but does it have a conscience, Joe? Or is it being told that that is sad? But the computer is not sad.
No.
So,
Okay, so since I have
you can
never
almost
used
say
it, like,
it's a sociopath.
do you just have an app or something you type it into, or is it a website? Do
You
you
just
pay
go to
for this?
openai.com.
Yeah.
It's run by
OpenAI.com.
Elon and MIT. So you just go to it, and
Okay.
you sign up for an account, and there's a free account you can go to. You just wait behind a queue and stuff, and it's not as good. You're using 2 versions back for it. If you use the free one. So you don't have GPT-4 yet, which is really the amazing one.
Yeah, I'm hearing they're developing 5 now.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
they're already
course.
further down the road. But yeah, and then you just create an account and you can use it.
So
What's that?
what's this mean for students who are have a, a thesis or some sort of a report that they have to write up? And I mean, is it like cheating because you're going to?
Yeah.
Well, and that's
no
the
different
big.
than Google. It's no different
Well,
than Google in the info.
And Wikipedia. Don't
Yeah.
forget Wikipedia.
I mean, here's
Well,
the
but
thing.
doesn't
You're
it just
still
type up like a whole paragraph for you? Like you asked a question and types it all up.
They can write a whole
You
report
Google.
for you.
Here,
Yeah.
I'll do write a 3,000-word essay on why Renee Benson is rad.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Why
And there it goes.
saying that-
Title: Renee Benson, a portrait of resilience, passion, and positivity. Introduction: Renee Benson embodies the essence of what it means to be rad. As a modern-day Renaissance woman, she has seamlessly integrated her numerous talents into various aspects of her life. Hey, it's going.
Okay,
It's
so
still
far
just going.
it's accurate.
rolling.
No, just
Yeah.
kidding.
Early
But
life and
that's the thing.
overcoming adversity. Born and raised in a small town, Renee Benson exhibited an indomitable spirit from a young age. Despite facing numerous challenges, she never allowed her circumstances to limit her aspirations. Instead, Renee chose to embrace her setbacks and use them as fuel for her future success. Look at
Well,
that.
there you go.
It knows you.
So, yes, Renee,
Well,
there's been a
Hold
lot
on,
of
I'm on
debate.
hold. I'm a little creeped out.
There's been a lot of debate in the education market about, is it cheating? It's not. My whole take on it, as Joe mentioned in top of this, is it's a tool. Like even him said,
Yeah.
can I sit there and ask it to write me a restaurant programming? Yeah. Okay. What if it doesn't work? Do you have the knowledge to go in and fix it? Same with the report, because students sit there and go, hey, write me a 10-page report on Queen Elizabeth. Yes, it can. How's it? And the student turns that in with no knowledge of Queen Elizabeth. What if it wrote about King Arthur instead? But it said Queen Elizabeth. Like, you got to have some knowledge there.
You're still responsible for whether it's correct or not.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
will get
Right.
better. I mean, here's the thing too. It's still
It
early.
will get better.
It's not as early as
Yeah.
people think. It's early to the public. It's
Yes.
been around
Right.
for a long time.
It will get better, and it's going to get better all the time.
My
And
God, it's still
again-
going. I shouldn't have asked for 3,000 words.
Yeah, you
Renee,
went a little high on 3,000.
That should be your next
I just,
higher ed
Stop,
article, Jeff,
stop AI,
about
stop.
Renee Benson.
so while we were just chit chatting, I signed up for my account. I got my free account, and I asked it what the chances are of the Yankees winning the World Series this year, and the response was, as an AI language model, I don't have the ability to predict the future or make assumptions about the likelihood of a particular event occurring. However, I can tell you that the outcome of a sporting event like the World Series depends on many factors, such as the team's performance, injuries, and the performance of their opponents, among others. While the Yankees have a strong team, it is difficult to predict their chances of winning the World Series with certainty. The best way to find out is to keep up with their progress throughout the season and see how they perform in the playoffs.
To me,
So
that
she wa-
is a cop-out political answer.
Yes, I 100% agree. I was looking for odds. I was maybe, and that might have been my fault. Maybe I didn't phrase the
you will
question
get
right.
better. You will get better
Yeah.
at asking it questions and pointed and very pointed questions. It will get, if you ask it general question, it will give you a general answer.
Yes.
Mm.
Again, needing that human interaction to be the one who inputs the
And here's the thing too.
initial.
If you notice next to the answer, there's a little thumbs up, thumbs down. So you can actually click that and it will ask you what was like, was this right? Was it wrong? Tell me what was wrong. Or sometimes it'll say, you know, give me another place to go. Like, so you can like give it like the website. If you ask it about an organization and stuff like HETMA, like I tried, it hasn't learned it too well. I'm still training it. Like, I think I posted that. But you can then put in the website, you know, here it is. So then it will crawl the website and go, oh, okay, so next time someone asks me about this, I now know this
okay.
information is here, right? So it takes human training as well, but so did, you know, the little Yahoo web crawlers when it first came out, right? It still took
Yeah, true.
the internet and you know, search engines were only as good as the sites they were searching, which in some disciplines were not good, right? It took time. It took, you know, and AI is going to be the same thing.
100%. It's
Yeah.
just a tool. We need to know how to use it and use it right. And yes, you're going to have people do bad things with it, but then it also, you're going to have a lot of good come from it.
I think the real strength of it, I mean, besides information and all that, I really love the idea of art, right? And I think like, if you take a song, I mean, there's some things, I've seen some apps where people will write a song and load it in and it will create a light show based on that song with the different moods and stuff. Think what that can do for, you know, concerts and et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I think there's huge things like it did with my background, right? It figured out the Angels baseball color was red, didn't ask it to. It knew that, right? So it could start figuring those things out. It knows different moods and stuff. I think that's where in art and experience, there could really be some cool stuff happening. You know?
Yeah, well, that's where I was saying is that like I found a video of a music video set to We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel that was done entirely by AI. Like it pulled all the pictures of the different historical figures that were discussed during the song, put them in order, timed it all up nicely, and yeah, it was done. And then important things, I understand, Joe. And you know, it was amazing. Like, and
Until
it was
AI
actually,
can do that, come on.
I love the original video from Billy Joel, but to see that it was just created by AI, and I mean, I don't know how long it took him to write it and ask the questions and all that stuff, but it was really cool. Now, on the flip side, I have seen that some digital creators, content creators, are kind of upset because things that they've been doing over the course of the last few years, you know, where like some artists, they mash up animals and create new animals by doing this. Meg's Mashables is actually the TikTok account that I'm referring to. She does these drawings of these animals or characters that are mixed in together. And you could just ask AI to do it for you. and it gets done in a minute, whereas her experience over the years of being an artist and the time that she actually has to put in to create it by hand is hours. Like there's more effort involved in it. And this goes again
So-
back to our, go ahead, James.
So to me, I get to the point when I hear something like that, and I don't mean like disrespect for it, but who cares? All right. Like I'm sure when you had people who true artists who were doing on wood sculptures and all that stuff with hand tools, and then the power tools came out, they're like, well, I spent hours doing this. You can do it in no time. Like, just because technology allowing us to do things more efficiently, we should be upset because people are upset about that. To me, it's like you can't hold back innovation just because someone's like, well, it takes me 20 hours to do this project. Okay. So if I did it in 10 hours, should I stop doing it because it takes you 20 hours? Like, no, we get better, we get faster, we use tools to our advantage to get the job done. And that's what I'm looking at is if someone can sit there and use AI to write AV programming, or as an AV programmer, am I going to sit there and go, well, no, sorry, you need an AV programmer to do that. AI should not do that. No, you need to evolve. You need to advance. You need to not dig your heels in. I know AV loves to dig their heels in and go, you need to stop what you're doing. You need to evolve. That's my take. Sorry, a little rant. I'll get off my soapbox.
No, James, you make some really good points. I think the
No,
thing
no,
with
yeah.
Absolutely.
AV is that it reaches out into so many different areas, and then it starts looking like sci-fi of where is it going to start taking control? Are people going to start dating an AI because, it will be comparable to all of their interests and what they're expecting? And I think that's where we have to kind of get our heads wrapped around AI, because it's just not one specific application. What you just described, that's great. That's making us more efficient.
Right. But I still think that there's the fact that there are a lot of statistics coming out. I've read some articles, listened to some podcasts about what percentage of, let's say, manufacturing jobs that could be eliminated because of AI, because the artificial intelligence can do this, and this, whereas it used to be 3 or 4 people. So I think in some industries, it's going to be like, oh my gosh, they're coming after my job. So of course, what is that? Wall up defense mechanism, right? So
Yep.
there's there's a happy medium, because obviously there's going to be some things that it can take over, no brainer, right? I mean, think about
But
your online
that's-
shopping, right? And you're going to the store, and now I don't do any stops at the store. I do it all online, and
Yep.
4 left in stock. Well, if somebody buys it in a minute and I'm still shopping, it's going to show me 3 left in stock, right? That's all part of automation, the things that are happening. And so, but I still think even like when you go to the store and you have to go run your own items through the scanner and bag it up and take it out, right? That's somebody used to be in that position. So it's still a little scary that we might be losing positions because of that too.
I don't call it losing position. And this is like, I go with the whole self-checkout. Again, it's one of those things. I'll get back in my soapbox and people complain about self-checkout. Oh, I don't work here. But you know what? Self-checkout, most people who run checkout are minimum wage workers. And yes, minimum wage workers need jobs. I understand that. But minimum wage was never meant to live off of, be
Right.
a career. It was meant for young adults to learn how to get into the work field, and then retired folks to supplement their retirement. That's what minimum wage job was made for. If we, unfortunately, as a society, we have become lazy, or we have run into a lot of situations where minimum wage job have become a career. And we sit there and look at more efficient ways as killing that. And I don't think so. I think it's forcing us to find true careers instead of leveraging the minimum wage. It's, I mean, let's take the self-checkout. You have to have people who program those self-checkout, people who are going to make sure that the computers
Yeah.
are actually ringing up items correctly.
Mhm.
That person's going to make more money than a minimum wage person. So we
Okay.
actually are
But we
doing
still
better for
we
our
still have
society.
kids that need a job. We still have teenage kids that need that minimum wage job to get
You know
the
what?
experience.
Those teenage kids
16,
can
17
probably,
years old.
but they can probably
Yeah, that's
code
true.
better than all of us. They might as well take.
Well,
That's
that's
probably
true.
true. Yeah.
Yes, they can.
Yeah. They've got a device in their hand since they were in the womb. Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Hey, I pay minimum wage for my programmers. They're student workers, because every student worker knows how to do C#.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true.
I don't need to I
Interesting.
don't pay $250 an hour for a restaurant programmer. I'll do it in C# for $15.50 and get better results.
You'll always get better results when you get a true IT person. Sorry, there I went there.
There
Oh.
you went there.
Bum, 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 plug.
There it is.
I know. You can come at me. I'm sure I'll hear it.
Don't at me. It's
Sorry,
going to
I
be
had to
interesting.
cheat.
We could have the same conversation. Tim, you could slot this for our show in 1 year from now. And let's see, you know what I mean? And do comparison.
That
Well,
or
and
even
I-
in,
Year from now, this
in
is be
6
done by
months.
AI.
We talk about the fact that there possibly could be job loss on this, but like we were just talking about, there's going to be other jobs that are created, like we talked about a little bit, and one
Right.
of them is going to
Right.
be the AI translator person. Like, as I'm sitting here and I'm asking questions to it, like, I'm doing a real poor job about that right now because I don't know how to ask the proper questions. Eventually, you're going to get people that have become so well versed in how to talk to the AI that that's going to be a desired position. So a year from now, yes, you are probably going to have an AI analyst or AI inquisitor. There you go. That's
AI whisperer.
And that's
the
fantastic. I
AI
think
whisperer.
that's the whole thing. I think this is great because it frees us up to continue moving technology and innovation forward. The more things, AI is really just automation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I say it's not really AI. And go back to Mike's article.
But it is. This is the whole
But
thing.
it's not. It's
See,
computer
Mike's wrong.
programming.
See, Mike's wrong. Okay. Because everyone assumes that artificial intelligence means it has to think for itself. No, it doesn't. And that's the biggest mistake. We watch too many stupid science fiction movies early on in life that people think artificial intelligence means it has to think for itself. What it has to do is connect dots by itself, which is what, like, my background did. I didn't tell it
Right,
that
okay.
Angel's red was red.
But
I told it
you
connect
didn't,
dots.
Joe. But
No,
Joe, you didn't. Society did.
Oh, yes, but that's artificial intelligence. It connected dots for me. That's what it did. I didn't have to do everything. I didn't have to put a line of code that said, now make it red. Right. And that's where it works. And again, is it just programming behind the scenes? Yes. Is it just is it crowdsourcing behind the scenes? Yes. But what it really is taking our habits and making wise deductions off of the things that it can make assumptions on. That's why ChatGPT still has a little button next to it saying, did I get this right? Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Feedback.
still making guesses, but that is artificial intelligence. It really is. And Mike is wrong in that, because we keep thinking artificial intelligence means thinks for itself. That is not artificial intelligence. That's be scary crap. Okay. Artificial intelligence is just connecting dots where we don't have to do it. It can figure it out itself.
okay, so here's an area where I feel that AI is not appropriate. And this is what we've talked about. And, you know, when we had our AI captioning and translation, same thing, where people were saying, compared to an interpreter, you don't have the emotions, you don't have the empathy, you don't have the being able to gesture, I guess, so that people understand, feelings in that. Recruiting. In companies using AI for recruiting, it goes back to, you need to have that human interaction for the person who's recruiting to understand the candidate, because you can't truly show yourself from a piece of paper that shows where, each job you've worked at, what your skills are and all of that. So that's where I don't think that AI is going to really benefit anybody
Yet. Right. There's no, just like when I asked it to do something that said kill grandma, it recognized that was a sad moment, right? It did create emotional. It could have given me a picture of grandma with a knife stuck through the chest. But it didn't. It gave me 4 women who looked sad, older women who looked sad. So it made an emotional choice.
I disagree.
Did you give
with
it a thumbs up?
I did download
Joe,
one.
I think you are wrong there, because the computer, like you're giving that emotion to those images. All right. The computer has no emotion. I almost sum it up as a sociopath. As you think about it, is a sociopath has no emotion. They understand as a society, a sad looking person is what society deems as being sad, but that person or that computer that gave you that picture, they don't feel anything. There is zero emotions there. They're just going off of what the crowd, the programmer, is saying. This is what society has deemed as being sad. And it's kind of like the whole notion of, let's take colors an example. Your background, Joe, being with red. If I sit there and tell you that is blue, you're all going to sit there and look at me and go, you're nuts, James. If I get everyone on this call to tell Joe that is blue, they're going, you guys are joking with me, whatever. If I get every AV tweet to tell you that is blue, you're going to start questioning yourself. If I get everyone in California to tell you that is blue, you're going to be like, okay, maybe that is blue. So the computer has no emotion. The AI, as you're saying, have no emotion. It's going by what the programmer and society has deemed as being sad. The computer didn't look at those pictures and go, oh, I'm sad. Joe looked at those pictures and go, that's a sad picture.
Yeah, I was say that's
Yeah.
yeah, we're here.
You said a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, but I think it goes back to, no, I think you're right. I do think you're right. But here's the thing too. It is learning over time which creations it made will start to form our emotion. It will figure that out based on the choice.
Yeah, it'll figure out what our emotions are.
Like
but
it knew then, like, because it obviously knows which one I selected to download. So now it's added, this is the one.
And as a crowdsource, you're providing it more data points, of those points, as you mentioned before, of connecting the dots. You're giving it more dots to connect. But as I was saying, is that computer at this moment, could there be times down in the future? Maybe. I will not rule out.
Oh yeah,
but
no,
as
we're
of right
still
now,
so. I mean, here's the thing: if you think about, Dyson Freeman is the one who came up with Moore's law, basically stating that technology doubles, every 50 years.
Yes.
I mean, think about it. He said that, 60 some years ago, 70 years ago. Well, technology is doubling every few years now. It's exponential at this point, right? And that's where when people say, oh, it's so early. Early. I mean, we could be we could be a year away from this thing being completely incredible, right? Because information compounds upon information, right?
Yeah.
Wait till the thing starts coding its own errors out, which it will be able to do.
Yeah.
Right. So here's an interesting thing to James that goes along with your part. And I think why we got nicer images of grandma. I was kind of just typing in random things and I asked it to create an angry email to a coworker who hadn't read a prior email. You know, that whole if you had read my previous email kind of thing. That's what I was looking for.
For my
kind of looking to
previous
see
email.
what right.
Yep.
And the response I got back was, I'm sorry, but I cannot fulfill this request as it goes against ethical and professional standards. As an AI language model, my purpose is to assist and provide helpful responses. Composing an angry email may lead to negative outcome and damage professional relationships. So it already is
Wow.
looking out for the more positive answer than the negative one, which is why we don't get grandma with a knife in her chest.
Yeah,
You know,
or
we
pay
get
for the pay for the premium one, and you can have it too bad.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not paying
Yes.
$20 a month right now. So
Yeah.
But yes,
right,
but
well,
that
with
is
the
We'll stick with
free-
the positive free
one,
one.
with the
So-
free
it is
one, I
being
can't.
it is being curated
Yes.
in order to create positive results. So humans are
And yes, and this is where it can become challenging. I mean, how many here did the whole thing with the iPhone years ago when they first came out with Siri asking it where to hide a dead body?
No.
You
okay,
remember
so here we
that,
go.
right?
I just asked it to write. So now I have the premium. I asked it to write an angry email. So would you like to hear the angry email?
Sure.
Oh,
Let's hear
no.
the.
Subject
You
line.
tell us, do we?
So the subject line is unacceptable behavior, urgent discussion required.
Ooh.
And then, dear, insert coworker's name. I hope this email finds you well. However, I must address an issue that has left me feeling extremely frustrated and disappointed. It has come to my attention. It's still writing. Oh my God. It's come to my attention that during our team meeting yesterday, you took credit for the work I had been diligently working on for the past 2 weeks. This is not only unprofessional, but also disrespectful toward me and the effort I put into the project. To say I'm angry about the situation would be an understatement. We are colleagues and I'm supposed to work together as a team, supporting and encouraging each other. Taking credit for someone else's work is a clear violation of the trust and cooperation that we should maintain in our professional relationships. I would like to request an urgent in-person meeting with you to discuss this matter further. I expect a sincere apology along with an assurance that this behavior will not be repeated. Additionally, I would like you to rectify the situation by informing our manager and the rest of the team about the true ownership of the work presented during the meeting. Please respond to this email with your availability for the requested meeting so we can resolve this issue as soon as possible. I hope we can find a resolution that will restore the trust and mutual respect that is crucial for our working relationship. Sincerely, insert your name.
Wow. Yeah, that's one of those.
Damn
Yeah,
good letter.
yeah, and that's like those are like those angry text messages when you see the dots keep going, like they're on fire and you know that you're in trouble.
They're
Like
coming at
it's
you.
yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
That
All
is
right,
pretty
well, there you
good
go.
though, huh?
That
And,
was
and
was
again,
pretty good.
I didn't give it context about a situation. I just said write an angry email to a customer or to a coworker. Angry email to a coworker.
Which that shows you that general theme has been very popular somewhere within
Yes.
its system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
'Cause,
then
yeah,
Some
you know that
jackasses taking
you know
credit
the
for
Someone
their
else
people
work.
asked
that-
it about someone who took credit for my work, and it said,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm
Yeah.
getting this request a lot, so this must be what the person means."
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, because you know there were probably people that were like really pissed off about something, and they started writing the email themselves, and they go, "Wait, no, I'm not doing this myself because I'm just gonna I'm gonna get fired for sending this email." So
you're still going to get fired for,
So-
and that's what I'm going back to with the whole like the series when it first came out, and people used to ask where to hide a dead body. They actually shut that down because people were doing, and someone got caught doing that. They actually asked it where to hide a real dead body, like, and they actually got caught using it. But that's what I'm saying is, when will an angry spouse who goes, "How can I get away murdering my spouse.
Yeah. So
That's
just so
easy.
you know, I did ask it where to hide a dead body. And the answer
Oh,
is
and then you get a response.
what? It actually said, I cannot provide assistance or guidance on an illegal or harmful activity.
Okay.
Oh, good. Well,
Nice.
So it does have,
didn't Siri say something like
They
that?
learned from Siri.
Yeah, yeah.
all
Are you
right,
gonna give that
well,
a thumbs up or a thumbs
I
down?
gave it a
Bill?
thumbs up. Well, I gave it a
Okay,
thumbs up, so
good.
it keeps doing that.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
You got to
Oh
feed the
my.
machine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I
So,
think the key is we have to embrace it for
yes.
positive, and it's going to be here.
Mhm.
It's not going away.
Well, and did you
I
hear,
will say,
hireatav.com now has a new column writer of
yes.
ChatGPT.
And we have a poem.
Poet. I could say it wrote, I'll tell you, there's a dramatic play coming that it wrote on its own. It has another couple articles coming based on, because next month's theme is budgeting. So it has some budgeting advice for us. So.
And then are you just
Oh,
going in and
boy.
customizing it then? You're
No,
using it as a
I just
shell?
copy
or-
paste it. Done. So I have used ChatGPT for my own stuff, in which case I massage a little bit. But the author is ChatGPT. I am copy paste and giving credit where credit's the author's name is ChatGPT AI.
So, and speaking of poetry, and I think we'll leave on this note, I asked it to write a poem about podcasting.
Oh.
Yeah. In a world of screens and streams where content flows like endless streams, there lies a place where voices reign and stories thrive without the pain. A world of sound where ears are king and listeners tune in with a longing for tales and thoughts that speak to them and ideas that take them to the brim. A place of freedom where words can roam and thoughts and opinions find a home, where voices can rise and laughter can ring and conversations are the finest thing. It's a place of wonder, a world of sound where stories live and thoughts abound. A world of discovery where anything goes and the possibilities are endless, as everyone knows. Podcasting is a realm of its own where voices come alive and ideas are sown. It's a space where listeners are never alone and where the power of sound is fully grown. So let us embrace this world of sound and share our stories with listeners around. For in a realm of podcasting, anything is found, and the possibilities of sound know no bounds. And that was
Wow.
created in the 10 seconds I was, we kind of like interluded into the higher ed AV.
And don't you remember when you were back in like 7th grade and you spent all night and a week's worth of homework trying to write one, figure it out, to figure out what words rhymed with which ones?
Yeah.
But
Yes.
in the famous words of Eminem, no word rhymes with orange.
Or writing an essay for a book in English that you absolutely couldn't stand. Yes.
Right. Wow, that was
That was so cool.
That was deep,
all
Tim.
You got
Yeah,
a new
that's
opening
All
there,
right,
Tim.
Tim,
Yeah.
since I haven't taken over your show in a while, let me ask you
Okay,
one
go.
last question.
Sure.
You signed up for your account while we were recording. Did your idea of AI and its possibilities change during the course of this episode?
I will say yes, because and I go back to what James said. Yes, we could go through and Google these things and come up with these things, but like I just asked it earlier, like, what's the big, I knew what the answer was, but I asked it what the biggest body of water was on Earth. It's the Pacific Ocean. And it gave details to come along with it. And like you've asked, I could ask it, write me a 3,000 word essay on the Pacific Ocean, and it would give it to me. Like, yes, this is like Google on steroids. Like that's, and then some. So I'm in favor of AI. I'm in favor of keeping an eye on AI.
Yeah.
Because yes, I have those not nightmares, but I always have those concerns of I'm that kid that watched too many sci-fi movies. And I don't want Skynet. Like, I don't want the rise of the machines to, because you've got Marvel with Vision, so you have, like, there's so many sides to this that could be that are good and bad. So I'm going to embrace the good and hopefully drive away the bad, and we'll all be successful together. So I'm pro AI, and I plan on asking more questions and getting better at being more specific on the things I'm looking for.
Okay, you ready for
So,
this one?
sure.
Ask it. Give me the 10 next podcast episode ideas for the AV life. And there
Oh.
you go.
There you
Let me
go.
tell you,
Let's
it's
see.
perfect. And it's going to just give you a bunch of stuff.
It will.
Podcast.
Again, that was very general, but you could say on audio visual or on classroom technology, get more
Yeah.
specific, and it'll.
Yeah, it's a tool, and once you learn to use it properly, you reap the benefit of the tool.
Yep.
Wow.
Indeed.
Uh-oh. Tim's
Oh,
like,
look at that.
uh-oh.
Data
ADD has kicked
privacy
in.
and education. That's pretty cool.
I'm telling you, by this time next year, this whole podcast will be done by AI.
Yeah.
Hey, whoa. Where'd
I
Jeez.
meet
wonder-
my Thursday
oh.
nights with my family.
Wait, I should do an episode of Hired AV where ChatGPT interviews me. That would be interesting. Because
That would be
you
interesting.
can run this through a voice thing too. Like right now, you
A
just
text to speech.
But the pro you can run it through and it'll speak it to you. So I technically could record it doing that. Because you can have a
Oh,
conversation.
boy.
I just gave Joe an idea.
I like
Yep.
it.
Tim,
I
you
get
better
credit
cut
for
us
it.
off.
Credit is yours. Credit is given right here, right now.
Good
No,
or bad,
so-
it's still my credit.
When I actually do it, I'm taking all the credit. But people who know, and they know from here.
So, hey, Joe, what was the month of April supposed to be for higher ed AV as far as themes are
Budgeting.
concerned?
AV budgeting.
AV. Oh, all
Budgeting.
right. Well, I was going to say April is for AI, but yeah, it's I think that's kind of
Every month is for AI.
So yeah, so speaking of that, head to higheredav.com and make sure you read all the articles, check out the podcast. There's a huge amount of content. We are constantly updating, and new stuff's coming out every day. So keep tabs on us over there. I'm gonna try to peel myself away from ChatGPT before while I still got good
You're
access.
gonna be on it
going
all
on.
night.
We
now.
lost Tim.
Yeah.
I know. I'm
Yeah, we
gonna
lost him.
fall down the rabbit hole of AI.
Way to go,
but,
Joe.
Yeah.
See, I'm here to make converts. As long as you understand it right. That's where Mike was wrong, because he said it wasn't really because he had the wrong definition of it. Boom.
Right.
Uh-oh.
So there you go. Well, thank you to the crew. Thank you to all of our listeners. As always, June 14th, Infocomm, 3 to 5 p.m. Booth 4489, the Hetma booth. Join us. Thanks to Sharp NEC Display Solutions for that, and to Hetma for hosting the space, which then in turn from a Vix. Yeah, I guess you could put it that way. So, but thanks for listening in, and until our next adventure, not brought to you by AI.
Woot, woot.